Good morning, good people. Welcome back to Collector's Quest, and thank you so much for joining me on another gaming adventure. This is the part where I say, let's get the bags ready, get the GoPro on, and get to the car boot. But last night I was up way too late playing Expedition 33, and it's still fantastic, still brilliant. But the plan for today is I'm going to get myself to the Stafford County Toy Fair. I always love going to the toy fairs. They're generally a lot less busier than typical gaming markets, and they're just way more chill, and obviously people aren't there just for games, toys. There's so many different kinds of toys and people are always on the hunt for different things, so we'll go there, we'll have a look, and we'll just see what it's got to offer. Not expecting a ton of games, but it'd be cool to come back with some, maybe some Final Fantasy toys, maybe some Persona toys, who knows, but we'll have a look. And then we're going to probably head to either Stafford CEX or Halzone CEX, I'm not too sure yet, just depends on the time, and we've got a big bag of stuff to trade in, so let's get the bags ready, get the car loaded and get to Stafford County Toy Fair. Just made it into Stafford County Toy Fair, and as you can see, beautiful day. Wasn't too bad of a drive, to be fair, only took about 45-50 minutes, so yeah, let's go and have a look. I think it's £10 for early bird. Quite a few cars here already, but like I said, it's pretty chill. I'm not here for anything in particular. Be cool to come back with some Final Fantasy stuff, Persona, anything JRPG related. Maybe the odd game or two, who knows, but yeah, feeling quite relaxed about it, so yeah, let's go and have a look. Already quite busy, so let's have the obligatory whip around. Let's go. Got a couple of cool strategy guides. I have lost my love for strategy guides just because I didn't read them and they take up so much space, but pretty cool if you're into them. But oh, look at that sticker there. Wow, that's a throwback. Yeah, unless it's something that I love, I tend not to pick these up anymore. Cool art and some anime cards. No idea where it's from, but looks pretty interesting. These are literally the first games that we've seen. Nothing crazy, just your £1, £2, £3 games, but I say nothing crazy. You got that bad boy there. That's like a £3 game, you could do a lot worse for £3, but yeah, at least we've seen some games. Just bumped into a little YouTuber, got a couple of 100 subs. You might know him.
Hi guys.
Retro Ghetto.
How are you?
Obviously check him out, doing great stuff on the internet, one of the best collectors, top guy, so obviously check him out.
I've got a really curated small collection. Listen, only buy RPGs, only buy what you're going to play.
Japanese games.
Japanese. Don't buy games you're not going to play.
This guy didn't even like Expedition 33. He got a couple hours and went, nah, not for me.
I got halfway through one of his videos, I felt like it was a personal attack, mate. Don't buy games you're not going to play. What else? Don't fill your room with rubbish.
Don't fill your room, play your games, yeah.
Don't do what I do.
Check him out. So that was the Stafford County Toy Fair. Nothing really for me there. I'm leaving empty-handed. It's one of those where you go to these toy fairs and some years, there's an abundance of games, some cool things. It can be an untapped resource, and today just wasn't one of those days. Even the toys that you saw, die-cast toys, models, if you're into that kind of stuff, then yeah, it's cool, I guess, but for me, nothing for me. And whenever I go to these events, there's things that I want, I'll buy immediately, and then there's things that in the back of my head I'm like, if I don't see anything, I'll go back and pick that up just to say I bought something, but nothing, nothing for me. So gonna head into Stafford CEX, so catch you guys in Stafford. Just walking into Stafford, and every time I come into Stafford, I always wonder, what was Retro Gaming World? Let me know in the comments down below if you've ever been to that shop. I'm guessing it's long gone now, but yeah, I'm always intrigued, like, what was that shop? But yeah, last time we came in a Stafford CEX, let's just say things didn't go to plan. So I bought that copy of Killzone Classics HD and they gave me a copy of Killzone 3. So hopefully nothing like that happens today, but it's always a pretty decent CEX. Obviously I watch Kale's videos, shout out to Kale, and every time I see him in CEX in Stafford, they've always got decent things. So hopefully today is no different. So yeah, let's go and have a look. We've got a bit of time to burn. It's only about 9:20, so I think it opens at 10. So I'm gonna grab a tea because I'm gasping. Need to get a green tea in my system, get some caffeine. I'm starving, to be fair. I've had nothing to eat, but I'm gonna try and stay strong and hold out until we get home. So yeah, see you guys when we get to Stafford CEX. First game that I noticed was Mafia: The Old Country. Didn't this only come out a week or so ago? Looks really cool, but very surprised to see it in CX already. Akibar's Trip is a very interesting game. I think you play as someone who's meant to undress people because they're vampires. I don't know anything about it, trust me guys, but one that you don't see all too often, as is .hack GUI, Last Recode, and you've got my beloved Danganronpa. This is Danganronpa 1 and 2. If you haven't played Danganronpa, check it out. It's one of the best visual novel games you can play. I was also going to pick up a copy of Atelier Iris, but for £35, it wasn't in the best condition. There was a sticker on the inside of the spine, and I had no vouchers, so it would have meant spending £35 cash. Shout out to Retro Ghetto for photobombing the clip. So, back from the Stafford County Toy Fair, and before we get into my overall thoughts about the day, just gotta say a big shout out to Retro Ghetto. As always, pleasure having a chat with him, just a top guy. But what happened, so we went to McDonald's in Stafford for a tea, had a chat for a good hour about life, YouTube, all that good stuff. Then we popped into the local CEX, had a look around, and then Retro Ghetto whacked out his phone and was like, oh, it's almost time to go. My parking's almost up on Asda. I was like, oh yeah, my parking's up on Asda. You get 2 hours for free. And I was like, mate, that's it, I'm gonna get fined. So I had to say goodbye to him and I ran, like I sprinted like a madman to the Asda car park, dripping with sweat. Luckily, I didn't have anything to eat at McDonald's because that wouldn't have been a good sight, let me tell you. So who knows, despite not buying anything, this trip might have been very expensive, but fingers crossed, I avoided it, but yeah, so that was funny. Big shout out to Retro Ghetto, and yeah, just a top guy. If for whatever reason you haven't checked him out, then what you doing, man? Go and check him out. But my overall thoughts on the day, so I'm not gonna come and blast a toy fair for not having any games or anything for my weird taste, but it just seemed like everything there was been there, done it kind of mentality. Like everyone that was there selling had pretty much the same things I had back in March when I last went to the Stafford County Toy Fair. You know, dinky toys, Ironcast toys, pop vinyls, Lego. There was just nothing there of any high quality or high value. I mean, it's all subjective, right? If you're into that kind of stuff, then I guess it's great. But for me, you know, lack of games there. And it just seemed like the games that were there were just games that people, you know, dragged from the side, you know, on the way to go into the toy fair. Just, oh yeah, we've got a couple of video games down there, just drag them into the booth and we'll take them. So yeah, nothing there for me. NEC is definitely a much better toy fair. I think it is the biggest one in the whole country. So I think there's one end of September maybe, and also Christmas time, so I might go to the Christmas one, but probably won't be in a massive rush to get back to the Stafford County Toy Fair. But besides all that, it was still great bumping into Retro Ghetto, so that made the day for me. Hopefully I don't get fined. And then Stafford CEX, I can't even remember what I was looking at. I think there was a couple of games I was interested in, but my mind was preoccupied with getting to Asda car park, so yeah, unfortunately no pickups to go through. And part of me was thinking, do I even make this video? You know, I've got nothing to show. You know, is it going to be that interesting? But I think doing this and putting it out there, I think it's a valid lesson for you guys. Like, you don't need to buy stuff on every single game hunt. You are going to have days where you just don't find anything. And part of me was thinking, oh, let's, you know, buy something just to have it for the content, have it for the video. On the way back from Stafford, I was thinking, let me drop off at Dudley CEX or Vintage Gamer or just somewhere just to say I picked something up. But it's just a wrong mentality. Take it for what it is and just have it as a lesson where you're gonna have days that don't go your way, game hunts where you don't find things, and that's okay. You know, you don't need to buy everything. And I think it just reflects where I'm at with collecting. You know, I'm at that point now where I'm being a lot more picky. You know, on another day, I would have picked up some of those strategy guides maybe, but right now I think I'm in a good place with collecting, and hopefully you guys, you know, don't have to collect in the same way I do, but hopefully, you know, you can take some of the values and some of the insight that I'll try and give you guys in the videos. So hopefully you still found value and enjoyment from the video. But before we go, I want to just talk you through some of the things I've been thinking about with the room. So let me show you. So with the changes that we made last week, where we took all of the games from here and just moved them to this Billy bookcase here, I think, taking a step back, I think the room looks way better. I just think everything has a purpose and a place, and by putting like the pops, the figures there, and keeping the games that side, I just think it looks better than ever. And I think everything just looks cleaner. Like, you know, walking into the room now, I'm not just surrounded by a load of things that haven't really got a place, apart from my yoga mat there. Shout out to yoga. Getting old, so I need to do stuff to keep the limbs all nice and loose. But yeah, and obviously changing the chair around has done so much for the whole room. It just feels so spacious. I can walk around. You know, I can come here, I can film, you know, that side looks clean. It just all looks, you know, real nice, in my opinion. But now that I've got the shelf sorted, I think this is the overall look I'm going to go. You know, things change. Obviously, I like to keep things fresh, but I think this layout is pretty much locked in now. But there's a couple of things that I do want to do, and I want to get your guys' opinion on. So, first thing, let me just move the tripod out of the way. Take a sit down. So first thing, I really want to spend time on upgrading my TV setup. So the end goal, I want to get to a point where every single console is playable. Because at the minute, if I want to, you know, play GameCube, for example, I go up into the loft, get the cables down, spend half an hour plugging everything in, and by the time I've done all that, the moment's gone, right? So the end goal is to get to a place where I can pull off any game off my shelf, plug it in, put it into the console and just play within 2 minutes, right? Face you guys now, but I've been doing a lot of research about upscalers, adapters, and man, it's a massive rabbit hole. So a shout out to someone who commented on a previous video about RetroTink or RetroLink. Apologies if I don't use the right brands or abbreviations. I'm a complete noob when it comes to all this stuff, and man, it's just so vast. And you've got two sides, two different camps. So some people say go down the upscaling route and get a RetroTink 5X maybe. Use that to upscale your games to 4K, you know, your older pre-HD consoles. Then you've got other people that are saying, oh, just get the original hardware, get a CRT, play it on there, because no matter what you do, it doesn't feel the same or run the same. Then you're looking at cables, because you need certain cables to drive it all. You get latency, all that stuff. So it's just like, man, like, as someone who is very technical, I work in IT, it's an absolute minefield when it comes to upscaling. So let me know down below, you know, give me some advice around what I can do in terms of playing like a GameCube on a 4K TV, or is it worth going down the route of looking into a CRT? Because, you know, over there, I could maybe fit a CRT there. It might look weird and crap having like a CRT in the corner, but it could work there. And then something else I thought about, I could put a CRT there, maybe. So the great thing about this Flexi Spot chair is it rotates. So I could basically have a CRT in here, sit down and have the consoles down there. That's just filler stuff, right? So that might work, that's an option. I'm just not sure, because like I said, it's an absolute rabbit hole, and these things are really expensive. Like, to get what I'd need to power all of those different consoles, you're looking at £400-500. It's not cheap. You need cables, obviously you need to power it all. It's not a cheap endeavour. So I am thinking maybe whack a CRT in there. You know, you could probably get it for fairly cheap, but I don't know if there's enough space in here. I'm not sure, but my mind's in overdrive. You know, I'm just spitballing ideas out at the minute. So hopefully you guys can give me some ideas and just let me know how you play your old pre-HD consoles on 4K modern TVs, or if you think I should just forego all that and just go down the CRT route down there. Let me know, or let me know, you know, where else I could fit one, because I haven't got the biggest room or the biggest amount of space, and I do want to keep things clean and organised and not just throw crap in here. So yeah, let me know what you think. And I just want to say a big thank you for all of the support on the 10 out of 10 games video. Like, doing that video, it was a passion project, right? I love doing that video, talking about games, giving my hot takes and, you know, just showing you guys what I love about video games. And doing YouTube, you never know what's going to do well, what's going to fly, what's going to, you know, pop off. And, you know, at first that video did okay. You know, I'm saying that it didn't do okay. You know, YouTube shows you your analytics, and for the last 10 videos, that video was the worst performing video. And I kind of knew going in that you guys are here for the car boot hunts, you know, you're not really here for video game discussions, which is fine. But the last few days, it's done really well. It's, you know, one of our more popular videos over the last few weeks. So yeah, just a big, you know, big shout out to you guys, and just, you know, thank you for, you know, supporting all the endeavors that we've got going on at Collector's Quest, and just, you know, for giving me your time and just for enjoying the content. You know, a lot of time, effort goes into doing this, you know, YouTube, and it's not easy. You know, I work a 9 to 5 and then I come home and work a 5 to 9 with YouTube. It's, you know, the grind is real, and, you know, liking, commenting, subscribing, it massively does help, and it, you know, it just shows that people are enjoying what we're doing here. So yeah, a big thank you to you guys. It's getting very hot. So let me know in the comments down below what you thought of the toy fair. Let me know if you would have picked up anything, and let me know what I can do for upscalers, adapters, all that good stuff for consoles. And let me know if you think a CRT will be good in that corner down there. And while you're down there in the comments, if you haven't done so already, please hit the like button, and do consider subscribing to the Collector's Quest channel to make sure you stay up to date with the car boot hunting videos, the video game hunts, and the overall discussions around game collecting and video games. And as always, good luck on your game hunts and collecting adventures. Take it easy, YouTube, and I'll catch you in the next one.